What's going on, guys? Be honest. You've done this. January 1st rolls around, or maybe the end of a retreat, and you write down your new spiritual plan. I will read the entire Bible in 90 days. I will pray for 30 minutes before my feet even hit the floor in the morning. I will fast every single Tuesday, and it lasts exactly 3 days. By day 4, you sleep in, you skip the prayer time, and the entire system collapses into a crushing pile of guilt and shame. The problem isn't your commitment. The problem is that you're confusing intensity with consistency. You're aiming for a spiritual sprint when God calls us to a slow, steady marathon of faithfulness. This video is about trading in the heroic, unsustainable plan for 3 simple, grace-based principles that will actually allow your spiritual habits to last. The biggest enemy of a new habit is the barrier to entry. The bigger the task, the more resistance your brain creates to actually do it. When you set the goal at read an hour of scripture, your brain screams, I don't have an hour, and you end up skipping it entirely. Now, for those of you in business, you may have heard of the minimum viable product, or MVP. Well, we need to bring that into our spiritual life, creating the minimum viable habit. The minimum viable habit is the smallest, easiest action you can commit to doing every single day. If your goal is Bible reading, your minimum viable habit is 1 verse. Not a chapter, not a whole page, 1 verse. And if your goal is prayer, your minimum viable habit is 1 minute of silent prayer, or simply saying, Lord, I give you this day. If your goal is worship, your minimum viable habit is listening to 1 minute of worship music. Why so small, you might ask? Because the goal isn't consuming information. The goal is showing up. We are training our minds to identify as a person who reads the Bible and prays, even if it's just for 60 seconds. Once the habit is locked in, you can scale up. If you're ready to trade guilt for consistency, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. We cover practical, grace-filled Christian living every week. You don't try to build a new habit out of nothing. You end up anchoring it to an existing habit that you already do every single day without fail. This is called habit stacking. Think about what non-negotiable things you do every day. You pour coffee, brush teeth, turn off the alarm, put on your shoes, sit down for lunch. After I turn off my morning alarm, I will immediately pray. After I pour my first cup of coffee, I will read my Bible. After I put my key in the ignition, I will spend 1 minute in silence before turning on music or the podcast. This technique eliminates the need for motivation. The existing habit is your cue, and the new spiritual practice becomes automatic. It removes decision fatigue. Perfectionism is what kills sustainability. The spiritual hero mindset believes if you miss a day, you've ruined everything, and you might as well give up. This is a lie designed to keep you from consistency. The grateful failure rule is simple and comes from the world of behavioral science. Never miss twice. If you miss your minimum viable habit on Monday, you absolutely non-negotiably must do it on Tuesday. Even if you have to wait until 11:59 p.m. to read that single verse, you do it. Missing once is an accident, but missing twice starts a new habit, the habit of quitting. When you miss, you don't stew in guilt. You acknowledge the grace of God that covers that day's failures, and you rely on the strength of God to get you back on track immediately. Your identity as a child of God is never tied to your performance. The goal is a rhythm, not perfection. This is the freedom of serving from rest, which we talked about in the last video. When God is sufficient, your failure is an opportunity for His grace to shine, not a cause for panic. So let's encourage each other. What is your minimum viable habit going to be this week? Drop a comment below and declare that one small thing that you are going to be committed to doing every day. Spiritual growth doesn't happen in giant, heroic leaps of discipline. It happens in the quiet, consistent faithfulness of the small things. This coming week, forget the marathon reading plans and the hour-long prayers. Choose your minimum viable habit, anchor it into an existing routine, and make the solemn commitment to never miss twice. If this message helped you lighten your spiritual load, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know your minimum viable habit in the comments below. God bless, and be sure to rest in the strength God provides.